we held on to our teachings, and we secretly, we had to go what they call underground. We would have to even do our sun dances. We'd have to have armed guards to keep people away. We'd have to go out into the hills and hide to do these ceremonial dances. And so once the Indian Religious Freedom Act was passed by President Jimmy Carter in 1978, we were able to come forward legally and pray in our cultural way to bring it forward. And so we start sharing that. And back then there used to be, in the 60s, there's only one Sundance on the continent. I was at Crow Dog Sundance in Rosebud amongst the Shichangu Oyate, the Rosebud Nation. Then after that, my uncle went out and he brought the Sundance to our reservation. And then from there it went to all four directions into Canada, all over the United States, other reservations. They came to us and they asked for help to bring it to their tribe as well. And that Sundance is the greatest ceremony we have for health. It's about health of the planet and all its inhabitants and beyond. Our connectedness to them, how we work with the mother's heart under our feet, the energy, how we pull it up and through our feet to our heart, and from the Father's heart above, we dance and we look at the star. We pray to the sun. It's a big star. It's the closest star to us. Through this man standing in the middle, he's like this. The tree has a fork in it like this. And he's in between his hands. In his hands he holds the medicines of the world for humanity. There's chokecherry branches stretched across that represent all the wild foods and medicines that we need to survive here on Mother Earth. And then up there where he's holding them, there's a buffalo on one side and a man on the other side to represent our spiritual survival, our ability to move forward, to grow, to be nourished mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. We have to be whole. We pray for protection. First thing in the morning, when you get up, you go out there, you pray for your own spiritual protection and all of your loved ones, your home. Pray for that. We need it because there's so much happening out there that some of it can actually set us back. So pray for that, for yourself and everybody, for all the world too. Pray for your emotional nourishment because we need to grow as human beings. We don't want to be seeing a grown man throwing a tantrum up here because he don't know how to deal with an emotion, I want my ice cream, But, that's important, to pray for your emotional nourishment because we do need to have that to be whole. Pray for your physical growth and your health. We need that for everybody to stay healthy. Your body needs to be strong because of what work we have to do in this world. Keep yourself healthy and well. And don't forget, pray for your mental wholeness because you got to have a strong mind to get through some of this, to reason it out, to feel it through, to work through what we need to work through. That's important. We got to have that wholeness. We can't be out of balance. Otherwise, we can't do our work. And always pray for this guidance from the heavens, from the spirit realms. Pray for that guidance. Wherever you go, if you can't find it one place, I mean, it's everywhere. It's in this room. It's in you. All you got to do is ask. Just ask. There's all these little spirits around, all these little lights, they're everywhere. There's billions of these little angel lights fluttering around. And I know this because I crossed over before. This body wasn't breathing for a time. And I got to see how much enthusiasm those little angels had. They're all around the planet. And any time anybody made a prayer, no matter the intensity of it, they would go and grab it, and they would fly as fast as they could with it, clear to the Father's heart. They're just waiting for us to make that prayer. They're there. So don't forget to ask them for help. You need their guidance. Ask for it. And a lot of times we'll take one of these pakjas, these tobacco ties, or even a pinch of tobacco. If you take it to a tree, take it to a stone, to the grasses, to the earth, to the waters, wherever you're at, and just make a prayer and sprinkle it out on the earth. And it shall be so. Hecha tuado, it shall be so. No doubt. Believe in who you are and what you are. You are an angel on earth. You come here because you knew you could do the work. But you also knew how hard it was going to be when you got here. But you took it on anyway. We're here. We came from out there to here because we knew that this beloved mother needed our help. So we're here, and try to keep things in circles wherever you go, because like say yoyampa, that light, hochoka, it moves in circles, it swirls, and it goes up. And at home, we have an elder who he's a doctorate. Got his degree in philosophy. Anyway, he took acrylic camera. Everybody heard of acrylic photography, aura photography? He put one of them cameras on a tripod, and he pointed it at the sweat lodge. But it was back a ways, probably 30, 40 feet away from the sweat lodge. And before the ceremony started, there was not much there. As soon as everybody went in and they got in that circle, they start bringing in them stones, that sweat lodge started glowing. And you could see it in that camera. And after they started singing, they were singing these songs, that light, there was a big beam of light just went straight up into the sky. It swirled and it went straight up. You can see it in that picture. With the light, and the light went out about 20 feet from that sweat lodge. So this is what we do to ourselves. We are the sweat lodge. We are the heart. The center is in here. It's in here. These, they show a lot of things up here on the board. They have images and things, and one of the fortunate things that I've been able to experience was to hang out with a lot of scientists. They do prove that what we've been doing for all these centuries is true. It's true. A rock, a stone does have memory. And now they're saying that water molecules also have memory. So if I had the same one glass of water, and I picked out 4 of you here, and you all were to take that same water, and you were to touch it and put a thought into it, each one of them would be different. If you look at it under a microscope, each one of them will align themselves in a different kind of pattern, unique to just you and you and you. Nobody was the same. They looked at every single one of them, the same water. And the molecules align themselves like a star quilt pattern, like this, like a snowflake. It was, such a thing to see. So that changes our thought about the planet. Look at all the water on the planet. Look how much water is within us. We have a unique, very unique way of doing things. We're not different, we're just unique. So we never say, I'm not like you. I say, yeah, you are, but you're unique. We're special. We came here from the signatures, from the heavens. We brought them here. Those codes are in us, and the water is showing it to us. So those kinds of sciences are valuable to us. That's why we need to forgive, so that that water, that energy that's in us can be pure. It has to stay clean and pure. And if that water within us is clean and pure, then so are our thoughts, so is our health, so is our emotions, and our body as well. And then we get more attuned or awakened to our spirit, our own soul, our own energy, our own light, and we're able to use our gifts better, stronger. And we can fulfill what we came here to do, and that's to help our Mother Earth take her place in creation. And we thought it was all about us. It's not all about us. It's about her. But we have to do the work. We're sentient beings, because we have this ability, this cognition to think, to work things out. And sometimes we kind of fall by the wayside. Sometimes we'll go through a learning phase. There's no mistakes. It's a learning phase. It's an experience. So take a lot of the negatives out of your vocabulary. Start putting them positives in there. Because I think we had a conversation earlier today. I said, it's a matter of how you say something. Pain doesn't hurt. Pain is a lesson. Depends on how you see it, how you understand it. Or if you say, ow, that really hurt, that bee sting, that, man, it stung me, I got poison in me. That word poison makes you think of something negative. But if you were to say, hey, he just injected me with some medicine, because a lot of those medicines and the rattlesnake and the bees and the wasps and the scorpions, they use those for curing. Nowadays, the modern science, they use them for cures. So I know that rattlesnake venom helps with cancers. That's a potent medicine. So however you think it, it shall be so. So if you think positive, and I at home I try to do things simple. A man came, he was at the sweat lodge, and I seen his leg. He was kind of working around the fire there, and he had a big spider bite. And it was a big red mark on his leg and a swelling. I said, what happened? He said, a spider bit me. So I got all that poison in there. I said, that's not poison. That's a medicine. I said, go over there. I said, get that water. I said, there's a little bit by the sweat lodge. I said, go over there. That water is sacred. Pray with it. Go over there. And where all them ashes are around that fire, I said, make some mud, the medicine. I said, pray with it. Put on your spider bite where they helped you. He said, oh, Okay, well, I never thought of it that way. So he went over there, he did it, he put it on, the next day it was gone. It's how you think, no doubt in yourself. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, even though naturally we have it, but, learn through it, get the lesson, and move on. That sometimes can be hard too, but sometimes we need each other for help, for support. We got to do that. That's what we're here for, to stand with each other, to fly around in here with each other. How many of you have dreams where you fly? All right. I'm not alone. That's good. That's a symbol of us being able to reach or to aspire to a higher level. We still have growing to do. That's what that means. And so let's do that. One other thing, I spoke about this forgiveness, that's very difficult to do. I touched on it with the boarding school we went through some very, very difficult times there. My brother and I were in a boarding school, and I was the last graduating class of that, the mission schools. And the year after I graduated, it was all turned back over to the tribe, so it became a tribal school, and the missionaries left. So I went through that, and so I had to process all of that within myself to learn how to forgive them for what they did. Not just to me, but to a lot of my friends and family, relatives. Lots of abuse. That forgiveness is tough. To forgive somebody else is one thing, but you also have to forgive yourself for things. Otherwise it's going to prevent you from moving forward and growing, shining bright, and being the highest potential that you can be. We are capable of many, many things. You just have to find them, what it is that's for you, and you. It's all different for us. All unique in those ways. That's why we need each other's help. Come on, let's do this, And it's always so fun. My wife and I, we go out, we walk the hills, the trees, we go to the river, and, we're always out and doing something. She takes me out there, makes me do the work. No. But one thing that's always there, it's prevalent, is prayer. We always pray first to recognize that plant, that medicine, whatever it is. The animal nation, the buffalo nation is right there. And when we go out, we do the ceremony. They asked me to go pray to this relatives here, this buffalo nation, this bisons, they call them. That word buffalo came from Africa. They brought it over here and they start calling the bison buffalo. But it's, so people kind of understand it to be a buffalo, but it's a bison. But one other thing too is, what we try to do is this Yulkoma Jida, it's called, to pull the energies from the heavens and from the earth into our heart. That's called unity. To unify such love from the Father, the Mother, and the child. It's the Trinity right there. And it's natural and it's simple. You don't need a big building to do it, You don't need anything, just you and nature. You can stand out here and do it. You can do it anywhere. You can pull it in from above and below. Yokoma Jida, to unify it in your own heart. That part is what we try to teach and pass on to tell people in order for that to work appropriately is to wear leather sole shoes or go barefoot. They call it nowadays that barefoot walking on the earth is called earthing. Yeah, earthing. And that is called earthing, where you're really touching the mother. And through your feet, they're receptors of energy. So a lot of times if you're sitting or standing, try to keep both feet on the ground to get it to move, evenly and smoothly and balanced within you. So this earthing, there's a project up in Alaska where that whole community was sick. Some had cancer, Alzheimer's, cerebral palsy. Just about every disease you can imagine. Everybody in that community had something. And so what they did was they had everybody in the whole community take their shoes off and walk on the earth. Go sit out, meditate by the tree, by the stones. And over a course of time, dependent upon each person, how much work they did with themselves, they all got healed. They all got healed. Isn't that something? It's that simple. Everybody likes to wear all these fancy shoes and stuff. But the best thing to do is go barefoot. Keep yourself in balance. Or if you can't go barefoot, wear sandals or just a good leather sole shoe, because leather won't stop that energy from moving, but plastic will. Plastic will stop it. Or if you got a plastic on your head, it won't come through your crown. That little crown, that little soft spot that was on your head when you were a baby, looks like you were like a dolphin or the whale nation, to be able to use and move in and out of your body. When you start doing it, it's called tawa'ichapi, to have spiritual freedom, to move like that, out of the body at will. And there's another way to do that, and that's where you get your atoms so pure, get your body so attuned. And one ceremony we have that helps with that is to do our vision quest, to cry on a hill, to fast, no water, no food for 4 days and nights. We go on that hill, we expose ourselves to all of nature, whatever comes, the winds, the sun, the rain, whatever it brings, we deal with it. But the wind is going to purify you. The rain is going to purify you. The sunshine is going to purify you. It's going to line you. And what happens is when you're up there, you get attuned to all of nature, and you start getting your spiritual memory back. And it starts coming back more and more and more and more. And you start remembering all this, oh yeah, this feels so good, so natural. And for those of you who have long hair, the DNA in your hair is where your spiritual memory is. So try to, take care of your hair as best you can. Your spiritual memory is in there, your DNA. And when you get purified for those 4 days and 4 nights up there, what happens is your atoms start spinning really fast, and they vibrate at such a rate, your atoms will split. And that's when you can do out of the body at will. You come down from there. You're a new person. What happens to you up there, what you experience, changes your life forever. Your way of thinking forever. The way your heart opens up so much. It changes you in such a good way. And you realize that I just shed my skin up there, just like a snake. I came down and a new man, a new woman, a very beautiful person. I'm shining brighter, look at me. And you can't, you're so pure and attuned that it's very difficult to watch TV or listen to a radio or anything. It's just so weird, but your atoms are so vibrating and spinning so fast. So just think about those things a little bit, Yokoma Jida, that ways of unity. The reason for that is for you to grow, become brighter. And then we also need to realize that with what we have and what we learn and how we're going to move forward with all these teachings that you get here and more, you walk with that in harmony. Stay in harmony with nature. Get attuned to it. Get used to it. Just keep it simple. Walk the parks, stay close to the water. Go to the water, you can touch it and know that there's memory in every single one of those water molecules. Make a prayer to it. Put one of those symbols, mark it in the water, and see what happens. Then we also need to learn how to put it all together. Whatever it is for you, it is unique in itself. That's where we have to understand that this is the truth. This is the truth. Your truth, your truth, your truth, your truth. Everybody's truth is different. And we can't put our truth to anybody else's truth. We have to realize that all these things we're gathering, some of them don't resonate with you, but that's fine. Because it's not for you. It's for somebody else in the room. But you know what's for you. You can feel it. That feels good. I like that. That's your truth. That's for you. Take it from here. Hold on to it in your heart. Remember the symbol. Remember the information. Remember how it's used. No, we had elders up here showing you things, and there's still more. There's still more to come. Because once you realize that truth, you move into Tawa Ichapi, this freedom. You have that freedom. Remember when you were a child? Remember you'd run around, not a care in the world. I see the little ones, they're free. They don't have a mean bone in their body or anything, they're free, it's happy. That kind of freedom, to be able to move in and out and also between the worlds, to go to another world. So, we also are going to be having a workshop here at 4 o'clock over at Mountain View. My wife and I are going to be sharing some things about our life and some of the teachings we have, some of the foods and medicines. And tomorrow I'll be teaching those of you that would like to learn a prayer song, because the sound and vibration, you've heard it, is so important. And that's one of the things, the other thing that we do when we go out and we pray, we'll also sing a song that recognizes the elements around us. The sound and vibration is very important. The song, the drum sang, song for the eagle. Eagle said, I was the first to fly to the day. Recognize what I do. That's what that song said. And that song came to me when I was up on a hill fasting, praying, and doing my vision quest. And the eagles came. First there was 1, then there was 12 all together. Flew above me, hovered above me. As I prayed, and I blew my whistle straight at that eagle. He hovered above me for about probably 2 hours. And I could look right into his eyes. I can see every feather on his body. He was probably about 20 feet above me, riding the wind on that top of that hill. He recognized my altar. He recognized my prayers. And when I got done praying and I put my whistle down, he answered me back. He screamed back at me. He said, yes. All right, yes. He heard me and carried my prayers, and then he left. And I thought, doesn't get any better than that. And all of a sudden, there came 12 more, all together, flying in formation. I thought they were geese or something. Geez, they're not even flapping their wings, though, because geese do. They came in formation, and they came above me, and they did a full pivot formation, and they recognized that altar. So what we do is very simple, beautiful, and natural. We don't have any fear and no doubt in what we have. And I know that this whole 3 days is about ceremony of remembrance, remembering those things. So in your hair, like I said, is the memory of your spirit, of where you came from and what you brought here. So those kinds of little teachings, they're simple. They're right on you, unless you're bald. But it's on you. It's anywhere, in every hair. It's not just what's on your head either, It's everywhere. So remember, that hair is very sacred. Very sacred. Take care of it. And I don't know how much time I have here. Oh, sorry. Okay. In closing, I do want to say that if you do come to our workshops, and especially the one tomorrow to learn a song, if you have a recorder, you can bring it. Or if you got a pencil and paper, bring it. Because I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to write down the words for you. I'll sing the melody, and then you can take it with you. We'll give you this eagle song. Because the eagle said, every time you sing my song, I will come. And what you ask me to do, I will do. So how? Itaki oyasi.